cultural adaptation to climate change. So there are wonderful examples in the Muslim countries around us. The next pocket or Islamic financing could be istisna, which is manufacturing or construction finance. A contract where an asset is manufactured or constructed for a buyer according to the specified needs. So green istisna contracts have been used to fund renewable energy projects such as constructing solar farms or hydroelectric dams. In Saudi Arabia, istisna contracts finance the development of eco-friendly urban infrastructure. Then comes Muraba, the cost plus financing, a sale contract where the seller discloses the cost of an asset and adds a profit margin. Muraba was used to fund the installation of energy efficient technologies in Malaysia manufacturing sector. And the list goes on. You are bankers and you probably know this. I don't need to tell you all this. But I think there are wonderful pockets of Islamic financing tools such as Sukuk, Waqf, Zakat, Takaful, and crowdfunding, which is raising money from a lot of people, offer versatile mechanism for climate finance. Real-world examples highlight their potential to fund renewable energy, disaster recovery, and climate adaptation projects, particularly in the global south. To scale these tools, governments in Islamic financial institutions where we're sitting must collaborate, promote awareness, and standardize frameworks. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. This wonderful forum and this wonderful platform is telling us that there are answers available in Pakistan, and we can use our own Islamic financing to attend to our biggest threat that we face, that is climate change, through adaptation and through providing for loss and damage. So one thing that I want to also add at the end, that there is no way that we can go about creating Islamic finance unless we have an understanding and a good handle on on climate science. You cannot create a project, you cannot go about doing Islamic financing unless you have a good grip on climate science, because climate science is going to tell you what project to build and how to attend to the issue in hand. So please, that is something that I want to underline, that climate science is something that we lack capacity in. And I would, from this forum and this platform, want to say that I think investors and sort of the financial institutions that are here should build capacity on climate science, which has happened in Kenya, which has happened in Bangladesh. I don't want to go through those areas, but it's important. So the time has come, and I conclude by a statement made by Justice Sheikh Taqi Usmani, who is a great Islamic scholar. The time has come, he says, for Islamic finance to lead the way in creating innovative climate solutions, combating faith and finance to combat global challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable.
Entire 20th century, that's what they taught us, that you can't be wealthy without energy, and that meant fossil fuels, and that a country can't be wealthy even today without energy, sustainable, low-cost energy, and that's always dirty fuel. That's still the base load today, right? And energy, sustainable, low-cost energy, and that's always dirty fuel. That's still the base load today, right? And so, what is the 21st century going to teach us, and what are we going to teach it? How are we going to define it? Let's not wait for the United Nations to tell us where we need to stand, or somebody else. We are on our own, ladies and gentlemen, including your businesses. I'm grateful for multilateral cooperation when it surfaces in any form or shape, or even bilateral, but do not expect it anymore as a standard practice, which I see in, at least in government environments, I see a lot of expectation that, well, so-and-so will come and fix this for us. No one's coming to fix it for you. The one thing you've got to do, other than, of course, looking at how you're polluting the air and water with either plastics, with emissions from canneries, nobody's talking about those are huge for the water, from Kasur to Karachi, and obviously the plastics infiltration into our lives, which is going to cripple our waterways and going to cripple public health in ways that now you see air pollution doing, especially in Punjab in winter. And these are all year now, these are all year realities. So it's not just a winter season, the impacts on your throat, on your cardiovascular health, on just how you live and breathe is impacted by your business practices and our consumption behavior. We are all still looking at consumption as an end goal that must not be challenged. And obviously businesses need to project that. So instead of telling you what is normally said, you've got to create your own, how do you sort of make your supply chains less dirty, all of that is something you know about. All of that is something some of you report about, because we don't have a healthy culture of reporting. Now, I can say what I want about sustainability as a business till the cows come home. But unless there's a data-driven report culture and a place where we are actually looking at our sustainability markers or our actions, there's going to be no movement forward. And believe me, the world is still grappling with this. It's not just us. So, I mean, I don't know if companies here have any incentive for say when they go for listings in terms of sustainability. Do they have them? I mean, does that matter? Does it give you a higher ranking? That happens in some of the stock exchanges, and that's something to consider. Build incentives. I would urge the Business Council, IFC, everybody sitting here, to have 2 short roundtables where you brainstorm, get yourself a consultant, you can do this, and ask them to write down what businesses can do to actually start working with data-driven knowledge. And secondly, I would ask, because these are big companies, as I said, no one's coming for you. Just cutting to the chase, you will have to use your comparative advantage, which is what at home? We have a huge youth demographic that is actually in the universities, from NUS to a remote university in Jagai, Balochistan, working on low-cost, innovative climate solutions. Young people out there are at it with the slightest of incentive, competitions, prizes, that's what's moving them to do this. So that tells me that we have a huge landscape of R&D to invest in, to give us the solutions we need while remaining profitable. Because companies are going to seek, I can't hector you to throw away all your plastic waste without creating some kind of alternative to it. It's the plastic company, it's the producer, the manufacturer, who is going to have to make these shifts and innovations. I mean, I don't want to call out anybody, but we're only recycling 1% of our total solid and other waste. So if anyone's telling you otherwise, it's frankly rubbish. The world too is actually recycling only 9%. The entire world, including the big economies with their bins that separate organic from other waste. Well, they're trying. Europe is trying. But the next step will be that businesses will become uncompetitive if they're unable to mark or safeguard their businesses, their products that they're exporting, especially the textiles, to carbon border adjustments. You will face carbon border adjustments from the EU, for instance, where you have preferential access. I mean, I want to shift everybody's minds towards working with neutrality, carbon neutrality, as the only way forward. If you are not penalized for your exports, if you don't have the right carbon footprint or the reduced carbon footprint, you will become completely non-competitive. In fact, you may be barred. I mean, right now, many economies, our biggest export market for textiles is the United States. They're not putting this on you. But one fine day they will. The EU is getting ready for carbon border adjustments. Now, this will happen to everything, to organics, from agriculture, to textiles, to surgical instruments that you export. So businesses have to think. If there's an airline, I see my friend sitting here with it, if there's an airline running, it will do better internationally, locally, in the market, if it's presenting itself as a green airline. It's a bit of an oxymoron, but it has to do that.
सेनेटर शेरी रहमान तकरीब से खिताब कर रही थी मौसमियाती तब्दीली के हवाले से, जिसका कुछ हिस्सा आपने मुलाहिजा किया। और यहाँ पर वक्त हुआ है न्यूज़ अपडेट्स का।
इस न्यूज़ अपडेट को आप तक पहुँचाने के लिए हमारे साथ ताउन किया है
नेस्ले बुनियाद आयरन प्लस,
Sabroso Spicy Chicken Donut, King of the Ring।
अपनी मर्जी की प्राइस सेट करें और बेहतरीन राइड्स चुनें। इन ड्राइव राइड्स ऐसे जैसे आप चाहें।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आईनी बेंच ने जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह के 13 और 16 जनवरी के फैसले वापस ले लिए। दौरान समाअत जस्टिस मोहम्मद अली मसर और बैरिस्टर सलाहुद्दीन के दरमियान तल्ख जुमलों का तबादला। जेल कवायद और हुकूमत कैदी को इंटरनेशनल कॉल की इजाजत नहीं देते। अडियाला जेल के सुपरिटेंडेंट ने बानी पीटीआई के बेटों से बात कराने की दरख्वास्त जवाब इस्लामाबाद हाई कोर्ट में जमा करा दिया। और पाकिस्तान मौसमियाती तब्दीलियों से इंतहाई मुतासिर मुल्कों की फहरिस्त में शामिल। सेनेटर शेरी रहमान ने संगीन चैलेंजेस से निमटने के लिए आलमी सतह पर हंगामी इक़दामात नागुज़ीर करार दे दिए।
आज पाकिस्तान में हर 10 में से 9 बच्चों की खुराक में आयरन की कमी है। इसलिए जरूरी है नेस्ले बुनियाद आयरन प्लस, जो है 3 गुना ज्यादा मौसम। नेस्ले बुनियाद आयरन प्लस।
इसी को तो कहते हैं द स्पेशलिस्ट मूव, द ऑल न्यू Sabroso Spicy Chicken Donut, King of the Ring।
कस्टम एक्ट से मुतालिक केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आईनी बेंच ने जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह के 13 और 16 जनवरी के फैसले वापस ले लिए। जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह ने 13 जनवरी को आर्टिकल 191A की तशरीह से मुतालिक नोटिस जारी किए थे। मजीद जानते हैं डॉन न्यूज़ के नुमाइंदे उमर बर्नी से। जी उमर, मजीद क्या तफसीलात केस के हवाले से आगाह कीजिएगा।
जी बिल्कुल, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जस्टिस अमीनुद्दीन खान की सरबराही में 7 रुकनी आईनी बेंच ने कस्टम एक्ट की शेख 221A से मुतल्लिक केस की समाअत की। दौरान समाअत हुकूमत की जानिब से अदालत को बताया गया कि हुकूमत ने जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह के फैसले के खिलाफ जो है अपील दायर करने का फैसला किया है। दौरान समाअत अदालत की जानिब से जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह के 13 और 16 जनवरी के फैसले वापस ले लिए गए। जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह ने 13 जनवरी को आर्टिकल 191A की तशरीह से मुतल्लिक नोटिस जारी किए थे। इसके अलावा आईनी बेंच ने नजर अब्बास तौहीन अदालत केस का रिकॉर्ड कस्टम एक्ट केस के साथ जो है वो मुंसलिक करने का हुक्म भी दिया। दौरान समाअत जस्टिस मोहम्मद अली मजहर और बैरिस्टर सलाहुद्दीन में तल्ख जुमलों का तबादला भी हुआ। जस्टिस मोहम्मद अली मजहर ने रिमार्क्स दिए कि मुझे तासुर मिल रहा है कि आप यहाँ संजीदा नहीं हैं, जिस पर बैरिस्टर सलाहुद्दीन की जानिब से कहा गया कि आप मेरी साख पर सवाल उठाएंगे तो वैसा ही सख्त जवाब दूंगा। जस्टिस अमीनुद्दीन खान की जानिब से कहा गया कि बात किसी और तरफ जा रही है, ऐसे ना करें। बैरिस्टर सलाहुद्दीन ने कहा कि जस्टिस जमाल ने कहा कि अभी हम इस केस को यहाँ आगे नहीं बढ़ा रहे, या तो आप कहें मेरिट पर केस चलाना है तो यही दलाइल देता हूँ। जस्टिस जमाल खान मंदोखेल ने रिमार्क्स दिए कि नहीं, फाइल तो अभी बंद है, हम तो अपनी समझ के लिए आपसे मुआवनत ले रहे हैं। बैरिस्टर सलाहुद्दीन ने मौका अपनाया कि फाइल बंद है तो फिर आप मफरूजों पर सवाल पूछे जाएं, मैं मफरूजों पर जवाब देता रहता हूं। अदालत ने कस्टम एक्ट से मुतल्लिक केस की समाअत गैर मुअय्यना मुद्दत तक के लिए मुलतवी कर दी। जी
अच्छा उमर, जस्टिस आयशा मलिक ने कस्टम रेगुलेटर ड्यूटी केस सुनने से माजरत की तहरीरी वजूहात जारी कर दी। क्या वजूहात बयान की हैं जस्टिस आयशा ने इस फैसले की?
जी बिल्कुल, जैसे कि गुज़िश्ता रोज जस्टिस आयशा मलिक ने ये केस सुनने से जो है वो रिक्यूज किया था।